Feather Merchants. This video is going to be to honor former Warden Robert Ayers. And, during the 16 years that I worked inside Pelican Bay, I have respect for all the wardens that had been in charge of that prison. But Mr. Ayers stands out in my mind for a couple different reasons. One was he used to come out on the yards frequently, A yard, B yard, and down in the shoe. And the reason he would come out there is to talk to the troops. And he had to ask them how they were doing and if they had any ideas, complaints, or anything. He'd listen to them. And I thought that was really good. And then, I was fairly new on the security squad when this happened, but GQ magazine came out to Pelican Bay and interviewed Warden Ayers. And they wanted to do a photo shoot with him inside the prison. And he invited the security squad to be part of the photo shoot. So I got in on that, and I got pretty excited about it, being inside GQ magazine. But unfortunately, somebody else beat him out on that month's interview, and they never published it. But another thing that happened during his tenure, he opened the gates for documentary crews to come inside Pelican Bay. And they came. The History Channel showed up. MSNBC, they came in a couple times when they were filming those lockup series. And National Geographic, they did a very good documentary on Pelican Bay. 60 Minutes, Court TV, actually 60 Minutes had, they came in a few times. And Court TV might have come in there more than once also. And I remember a TV program from France even coming in. And I think someone from Mexico showed up too, because I remember Devin Hawks being interviewed, and he did the whole interview in Spanish, which was very impressive. He spoke fluent Spanish, and he did a real good job in that interview. Another thing that happened while Warden Ayers was warden is that's when we had the big riot in 2000. That was the biggest riot in Pelican Bay's history, and actually one of the largest riots in California's penal history. Another thing that happened while he was warden, and I already suspected who did this, but somebody called the FBI, and they said something to the effect that they thought there was some rogue correctional officers running loose inside Pelican Bay, and the FBI showed up. And they I think they stayed there for about I think they stayed there for about a year. And they tapped all the phones and did all the things they normally do to investigate. And I always looked at it as being a witch hunt. That's just my opinion, though. But just like they went after witches in Salem, there was no witches, but they found them and burned them at the stake. Well, the FBI found a couple of them, and two of my good friends went to prison over that. And, you know, the one officer, Jose Garcia, he had cancer at the time, and they still sent him to prison, and he died there. Um, anyway, I think he died of a broken heart, but that's just my opinion. Um, and let's see, what else happened? Anyway, it was, he was really a good warden, and that's, he stood out because of all the things that I had mentioned. And what's going on today, I made a video about it, like what happened to the California Department of Corrections. Pelican Bay is not the prison that I left. It was built to house CDC's most dangerous and disruptive inmates. And for some reason, they let them all loose, and they dispersed them over on the GP yards throughout CDC. And as a result of that, and letting all the death row inmates loose, we've had, I would say, I think there was something like 60 inmates have been killed on these prison yards in the last 2 years. When Pelican Bay was up and running, housing these disruptive inmates, that wouldn't have happened. But for some reason, they turned Pelican Bay into a daycare center for level 2 inmates. I saw a film where they gave them paintbrushes, watercolors, and they're doing murals on the walls. And there's large screen TVs inside the shoe day rooms where they go out and watch TV. And it's nothing like I ever seen before. And something that just came to mind, Richard Kirkland was the warden when I retired. And I retired in December of 2005. And I want to thank him for presenting me with an award. I forgot what the award, the name of the award, but it was for some of the work that I did inside Pelican Bay and outside of Pelican Bay. And although I always thought that he should have put me in for Employee of the Year, but he didn't. He didn't do that, but he did give me that award, and I want to thank him for that. And also, what just came to mind is, all this nonsense going on in CDC now with the recent escape from in Dagenais, I think is a direct result of the lax behavior between correctional officers and inmates today. They're actually encouraging correctional staff to play games with correctional officers and inmates. They're playing basketball, soccer, foosball, and baseball, and handing out baseball bats to inmates on the general population yard, having barbecues. And, anyway, if people like Robert Ayers and Brian Perry, if they were still running things in the Department of Corrections, you wouldn't have that nonsense today. These guys were tough leaders and no nonsense, and they wouldn't put up with that sort of behavior. Anyway, I just want to Thank you, Feather Merchants, for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay.